Legion of the Damned is thrash metal at its purest. The veteran Dutch act, currently consisting of vocalist Maurice Swinkels, guitarist Twan Van Giel, bassist Harold Gellin, and drummer Eric Fleuren, have maintained the band's tradition of producing quality death-tinged thrash since the group formed as a cult in 1992. Not like a literal cult, but that's the band name, because in this genre we got to be clear sometimes. The four-piece band is truly excellent at their craft, and whether it be the brutal vocals, explosive riffs, or blast beats that crack like thunder, Legion of the Damned delivers the most metal for your hard-earned dollar, which in this economy is quite considerate for a band that desires to skull-fuck your senses. Legion of the Damned's latest album, Slaves of the Shadow Realm, is no exception. The LP hits you in the heavy metal sweet spot between death and thrash. From the opening track, The Widow's Breed, Giel and Gellin absolutely pummel you with riffs that take a power drill to your eardrums in the best way possible. I mean, I don't even know if any way really is the best way possible, but in this instance, power drill to eardrum is great. Oh, fuck! While Giel's and Gellin's fretwork is not the most technically proficient, the guitar and bass remains blistering by virtue of how it fuses the metal subgenres of thrash and death. Tracks like Nocturnal Commando, which is basically my favorite, and Warhounds of Hades combine the two genres into a unique package that is often reminiscent of Death's Chuck Schuldiner, and for extreme metal, you know that there can be no greater praise than that. The vocals match the instrumentals perfectly. Sure, Swinkle screams like any sort of nuance, but this is extreme metal, a genre with as much subtlety as Leif Erikson shoving a spiked frag grenade up the ass of Julius Caesar. The lack of nuance is part of the appeal. Rough and coarse screams containing anti-religious screeds and horror motifs are perfectly in sync with the headbanging riffage, and on this front, Slaves of the Shadow Realm is vicious and sound as if Swinkels is aiming straight for the jugular. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about Fleuren's adequate drumming. While Fleuren's beats add a good foundation for the other instrumentals, there rarely is a spot on Slaves of the Shadow Realm where he gets a spotlight. The experience is covered in pretty standard death metal drumming, which it means that he's good, like he's a good drummer, but nothing truly spectacular or anything. Where the rest of the instrumentals have the roar of a Ford Mustang, Fleuren's drums have the rumble of a serviceable Dodge Dart. It gets the job done, but nothing more. With that said, the mix on the album is fantastic, everything sounds great, even on some of the lesser tracks, which are still head-bangable. Though the album does lose a bit of steam a little past the halfway mark. Tracks kind of begin to bleed into each other a bit, which is especially problematic because the band doesn't necessarily try to do anything new. While I'm not expecting every band to reinvent the wheel, at least give me a ride that takes me from A to B. Still, Slaves of the Shadow Realm is good. It's good thrash, but nothing that's going to scream new. Like, if you just want something to headbang to, this will do the job. It has fantastic guitar riffs that sound as if you're being hit over the head with a sledgehammer, and in all honesty, what more could you want from an extreme thrash metal album?